100 fly. There's been a lot of international talent that's gone 50-point low this year. Heading into Paris, it's going to be one tightly contested event. Curious, how excited are you for this challenge now with the added target on your back of being defending gold medalist?
Yeah, I like had a feeling this question was going to come up. Maybe not this soon, but yeah. I mean, there's been 3 or 4 guys 50-point low. The way I see it, I don't even remember what I went last year. I know my freestyle times, but I'm significantly faster than last year. I'm really happy with that. So these guys have performed more recently than I have. So I really don't see as too much of a target on my back. I've been progressing great from last year to this point, and I'm gonna keep it rolling and then get faster in Paris and go from there. So I know I'm defending champ, there's no way around that. But I feel like I'm chasing those guys a little bit as well.
Pat?
Hey, Caeleb, Pat 40 from Sports Illustrated. What would you say the story of this week has been from your perspective?
I think the men's 100 free. I think that has been one of the most impressive things I've seen. Thomas as well. I mean, 17 years old, making an Olympic team. That's just unheard of. But yeah, I think seeing Thomas and 6 guys go under 48 is one of the most impressive things I've seen on the men's side at this swim meet. And then Gretchen's 100 fly. I mean, a world record. I got to watch one of the fastest swims of all time. There's a lot of stuff. It's been a long week. It's all kind of meshed together. So yeah, probably those top 3.
I guess I misspoke a little bit. I meant your personal.
There's been a lot of ups and downs just in this time that I've been here. Quite a few, actually. And I know it might not seem that way because you're seeing the smiles and me getting out of the water. And I am happy. I am happy with a lot of my swims, and to be back to a place that I wanted to be with the sport is exceptional. And I'm really proud of myself for that. So I don't know if I have one swim in particular, but getting that weight off my shoulders for 100 free, making the team, it made the rest of the week a little easier, and then a little bittersweet because I got 3rd. But with Jack and Chris, I mean, they deserve that spot. I got beat. I mean, watching Jack go 47.0, Chris 47.2, those guys deserve to be on Team USA. So I think for me, seeing 3rd place, which is relatively new, and I don't mean that in an arrogant way, like it was refreshing. The first time I saw 1st place on the scoreboard was, I think, 50 free semifinals. So that's about halfway through my swims. So it just made me happy that younger generation. So I think, man, I'm just doing a terrible job answering your questions because now I'm talking about 2 other guys. But yeah, I think all my swims I executed as well as I could. 100 free. Could I have found 6 more 100s? I don't know. But Jack and Chris deserve to have that spot. They deserve to be in that final. They deserve to be the two guys going for Team USA.
Jenny?
Jenny Brentis, New York Times. It's sort of along similar lines. It seems like you really enjoyed interacting with the younger swimmers. You and Thomas just kind of, raising the hands together just in that scene there. It made me think back to something Coach Nesty said last summer about the pressures that had been on you as the face of men's swimming in the U.S. after Phelps retired. And I wonder how you've learned to sort of grapple with that pressure, and if seeing the younger generation sort of helps ease some of that or helps you sort of handle that a little bit differently now.
That's a great question. It makes me I just know what it felt like when I made my first Olympic team in 2016. So to see it on the faces of a lot of these super young kids just making their first Olympic team, like, it's so special because I know what that feeling is. And for everything to come together that you've been training for in such a brief moment of time, like, it's one of the greatest feelings. And then getting to go to the Olympics after that, like, this truly is the hardest part of this whole process of Olympic years. So yeah, I'm excited to meet. I think there's a couple guys on the team that I haven't gotten a chance to actually meet yet. I introduced myself to Thomas this year. A couple of the pro swims, I think it was when we were in Chicago or something like that. I mean, the kid's awesome. So yeah, it makes me happy seeing these younger kids. I don't really feel any pressure from it. And there's a lot of pride that, like, hopefully I had maybe a little bit of something to do with them reaching what their goals are and going times that they didn't think they were capable of. I think that's the sweet part of the sport. I said this in an interview when I was doing the mix zone, was for me that was Nathan Adrian. I watched him win in London. I remember exactly where I was sitting, watching his last 7 strokes where he put his head down. I remember watching that, and then 4 years later, I'm on a team with him. I thought I was supposed to hate the guy the first time I met him. I thought you're not supposed to like your competitors, but he just showed me what a true leader is on this team, and he kept that up for, we had a couple more teams together after Rio with Nathan, but he was this larger-than-life image for me, and then turns out he's just a guy who's really fast at 100 free. And I think that's what all the leaders through Team USA have done, is they showed the younger generation, and before you know it, you're one of the leaders. So I can't take credit for that. It's just something that's been, embedded in USA swimming. It's just historic. Yeah.
Maggie?
Hi, Caeleb. Maggie Hendricks from Olympics.com. I'm wondering how this feels differently for you as opposed to 3 years ago and even 8 years ago.
All totally different experiences. It's hard to really put into words until you're actually boots on the ground, feeling the meet, but I don't know, like 2016, it was extremely nerve-wracking because I was a young kid. It was my second trials. The trials before that I bombed. I think I got like DFL and I think most of my events. I think one of my events I didn't get last because someone got DQ'd. So I went from that into making the team, and then 2020, my face is on the outside of the building. And then this one, I still had goals that I wanted to accomplish here, and I feel like I executed as best I could. So 3 totally different experiences, but some stuff very much the same excitement around it, same ambiance, same crowd. Something I've never done that all of a sudden I just started doing this meet was putting my hands in the air, walking out. I've never done that in my life, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm kind of feeling this. So yeah, that was just stuff like that. Just the crowd. Feeling the love from everybody. That's something new that I was like, all right, I guess we're doing this. And I did it once, and I had a pretty good swim. So I was like, I got to do this every time now. But yeah, the crowd has been really, really special here. So 3 totally different experiences. All have been fantastic, and all have been really tough.
Dan?
Hey, Caeleb. Dan Diodana from Swimming World. What has this week meant to you to experience this as a dad, and what lessons are you taking away from this week that you're going to tell your kid?
I don't know about any lessons at this moment. I think there's going to be quite a few things in my career that I haven't fully digested yet to put into, my dad's speeches. Just like when you make an Olympic team, no one can take that away from you. You're going to be an Olympian the rest of your life. And something that's really special is my son got to watch me make an Olympic team. And no one can ever take that away. He's not going to remember it. I'll tell him, trust me. I got photos, I can prove it. So that was extremely special. And sharing that moment with Megan, they're right back there. He's asleep, so keep it down. Yeah, that was, and it's not something I thought about how special it'd be until I've kind of chewed on it a little more, and now that I'm done swimming, thinking about just some of those photos everyone was talking about, and I was like, finally went on Instagram, back there, and I was like, ooh, I got choked up. So that was a really, really special moment of just, Megan knows what goes into this, not just the parenting side of things, but she gets to see firsthand the struggles that come with the sport. So for everything to come together, and it's for every swimmer that's sat up here, it's tough. And there's no way around it, and I'm not going to try to elaborate on that anymore. There's no point. Everyone who sat up here knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's tough, and Megan has seen that firsthand, the tears that come with it, the frustration, and then also those high points, and getting that to share that with them, because they go through it as well. So yeah, that was really special, August, getting to see that.
Lane, and then Paul in the back, and I'll get to the rest of you. Lane.
Hey Caeleb, Lane Higgins from the Wall Street Journal. And I don't know if this is maybe piggybacking off of some of the other questions that have been asked, but I know a lot of people in my line of work tend to always look for the next so-and-so, the next whatever. And in this sport, because of the crazy high bar that Michael Phelps set, that was Phelps. Do you think that's a fair comparison? And I just, given that was sort of foisted on you for the last games, like how, I don't know, like do you think that's something that we should be moving away from, just given the dynamic of how maybe rare Phelps was?
Yeah, we're not going to see, for sure not in my lifetime, we're not going to see another Michael. And the longer he's been out of the sport, the more impressive he's been. You know, we almost got immune to it when he was in the sport. And I think it'll be a similar thing when Katie decides to retire. I don't think we'll know how dominant they actually were until, I mean, we're 8 years since Michael's been retired. And I'm looking back at, like, he made 5 Olympic teams. He won the 2IM 3 Olympics in a row. Was that what it was? 4? Was it 4? 2 fly. It was 2IM. Was Hunter fly 3 in a row?
Yeah,
Hunter fly, like.
And 2 fly 3 times.
2 fly 3. Yeah, just things that don't even make sense. When I did it once, and I'm like, boom, like, it's really tough. But we just got immune to it. So I don't blame the media at all for trying to find the next guy. Like, it's exciting. Everyone's the next guy. I mean, MP was. I don't think we're going to see another one of him for a while, a very, very long time. Especially the fashion in which he did it, and the longevity of his career as well. I think that's the most impressive part. Is it wasn't just 1 or 2 Olympics. I mean, it was 5 where he was extremely dominant. So I get it, trying to find the next guy. But I mean, I've said multiple times I'm not Michael at all, and I'm fine with admitting that. I struggled with it a little bit in the beginning because I was like, oh man, these comparisons, they don't seem fair. But it's easy just to say out loud, that's not me. I'm a sprinter. I think I'm pretty damn good at what I do. So I'm fine with calling it that, and I feel like I've exceeded a lot of my expectations in the sport, and I've really, you know, drained the talent that I do have, and I'm still continuing to do that. So I used to be like, I guess, had a little shame behind, like, ooh, I'm not Michael. I probably never will be Michael. I'm never going to be Michael, and I'm totally okay with that. I'm really proud of the things I have done in this sport and will continue to do. But yeah, there will never be another Michael.
Paul, and then Greg, and then in the spirit of time, we're going to have to wrap it up. Sorry.
Hi, Caeleb. Paul Newberry from Associated Press. Congratulations on a second victory tonight. When you talked about the ups and downs of this meet and kind of what you went through, and you know, you said no need to keep harping on what prompted you to step away. But I'm just curious if finding that getting back to the happiness and the joy you felt for swimming, maybe at an earlier point in your life, is that even something you're trying to get back to again? Is that even possible, or is it you're just at a different phase in your life? I'm just curious, you know, that with what you went through and to where you're trying to get to now, and where do you think is possible to get to now?
I don't know. I don't know what's possible. I would love if I could get back to the point where I was 5 years old. You don't care what your meet warm-up is. You don't even know times yet, or if you do swim a time, you drop 20 seconds in a 50 free. Like, I mean, those honestly were some of the best days. And it was just because it was simply swimming. That's all that it was. You were just swimming. There wasn't any media. You didn't care how you felt. You probably just always felt amazing because you weighed 48 pounds. So yeah, that's what drew me into the sport. And there's things that I've put up with that I don't like, or things about the sport that I hate, that you have to learn to that I have to learn to put up with just so you can stay in the sport. Yeah, but man, if I could get back to 10-year-old of just simply swimming, but it won't be that. That's the hard part. I would love to get to that point, but it won't. You know, you swim fast and you get a little buzz around the attention around you, and then you perform the Olympic Games. So I get it. I get the attention. But yeah, I mean, I've said if it was just me, Nesty, and some teammates, I'm a happy guy.
Final question for Greg.
I can probably hear you from here.
Oh, I know you can. It's
Oh.
Sometimes the
I was like, we're pretty close.
transcript. I know. Caeleb, congratulations, and it's been wonderful to see you at this level. My question's somewhat similar to Paul's, but because you said it, and I happen to agree with it, that you are potentially influencing someone like Thomas, that you are inspiring some of the younger swimmers. So I guess I'm going to use your words. Do you still think that you are capable of swimming times that you might right now think are not possible?
Times that are not possible. It's a tough question. That's a really tough question. I don't know if I'll ever go a best time ever again. And that's tough to say out loud.
I understand.
It really is. When you're 19, 20, 21, you keep chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. I'm still working harder than ever. I'm still finding outlets. I'm trying to find every path I can take to shave those couple tenths. I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. I'm really good at racing. If you put me in a race, I'll make it close. I'll make it as close as I possibly can. Even if it means if I have to try and kill myself to get there, I will put myself in those situations. I think 100 free is a good example. And I came up short. I was a couple tenths off my best, but I don't know. I'm doing everything I can. Some things are a little bit out of my control. So going times that aren't possible, I'm not sure. Yeah, I wish I had a better answer for your question. It's a fantastic question.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Caleb.
Yeah. Thank you all.